Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we take a look at how recovery efforts are going in Laurel County after a deadly tornado caused lots of destruction 4 months ago. And a national campaign launches a tour with a visit to the mountains, aiming to change how communities respond to addiction and mental health issues.
And after seeing a nice Wednesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine for the remainder of the week, but storm chances are somewhere. Details are coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The sounds of hammers, saws, and drills are common in several neighborhoods in southern Kentucky. That's where people are still rebuilding 4 months after a deadly tornado. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to homeowners about the process to get life back to normal.
This was her daddy's old place.
Decades old, destroyed in seconds, being rebuilt from the ground up.
And they were down in the basement. Even the block was twisted.
Despite being built in the 1950s, the tornado left very little of it to salvage. Workers are taking advantage of good weather to get it finished.
We're hoping sometime around Christmas, that'd be a good Christmas present.
The process has been a roller coaster ride.
You have good days and bad days. Especially when you see the grandkids. They don't understand all that.
For so many, the way the story began during that time in May is much the same. But the way it ends will all be so different based on the numerous different challenges that people are facing.
There's lots of things here that were donated that the people really need.
Local officials say they've made tremendous progress, but still face challenges.
To finding enough carpenters to build the homes. Every carpenter that I know personally is busy.
Some people are using insurance plus other means to make ends meet.
Building materials are so high versus back when they built this, and I don't know, it's just devastating to go back and look at the way it used to be and the way it is now.
They had to take out a loan to finish the home, but they hope they don't have to use it all. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Local officials say one of the biggest challenges is finding enough building materials for folks. One person is dead after a crash in Southwest Virginia. Virginia State Police say it happened just after 8 p.m. last night in Buchanan County. 71-year-old James Ratliff was driving on Route 460 when his vehicle went off the road before overturning. Ratliff was thrown from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. He was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. A Prestonsburg woman has been cleared of murder in a case where she was charged in connection with her father's death. Summer Atkins was not indicted in the case after a grand jury heard testimony from the investigating officer as well as the victim's family. Grand jurors returned a no true bill in the case, clearing her of criminal responsibility. Atkins was arrested after she says she shot and killed her father, 62-year-old Jimmy Harvey. New details in a Letcher County murder case. Mark Miles was indicted by a Letcher County grand jury on 1 count of aggravated murder, 1 count of robbery, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. He was arrested and charged with murder earlier this year. The incident happened last year when state police found Angela Roberts unresponsive in the Cowan community. A Magoffin County woman was arrested for trafficking drugs after a puppy blew her cover. Deputies were called to Kell Patton Road last Sunday regarding a domestic violence situation. Mary Gibson was talking to police when a puppy turned over a cup she was using. Gibson told them the cup had some meth in it. Police went into a home where they found hydrocodone, fentanyl, and other drugs. She was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. Officials in East Tennessee are investigating a drowning at Norris Lake. Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officials say a man fell from a floating house Monday night at Cedar Grove Marina. His body was found early yesterday morning. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Office has identified the victim as 78-year-old James Frederick Orlando of Morristown, Tennessee. Nice weather out there today, but how about the first day of the Black Gold Festival tomorrow? First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast. Eric.
Well, if you like today, I think you're going to like tomorrow. We will turn that temperature up just a couple of degrees with highs in the mid to upper 80s. This is a scene right now in Hazard, courtesy of the WYMT studio cam. A little bit cloud cover out there, but still mainly sunny. 79 is the current temperature. Dew points at 55. We have a nice calm wind at this hour. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Again, this is going to get a break for Thursday, Friday. So again to Saturday, though, that rain chances will start to pick up. Temperatures 70s and 80s. Look at London, 80 degrees. We're at 81 in Williamsburg. Somerset, 84. Monticello's at 83. 78 is the current temperature in Pikeville. 79 in Prestonsburg. On the WYMT First Alert weather app, you'll get your hour-by-hour forecast where we'll stay clear as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. Look at that temperature by 9 o'clock. Upper 60s, low 70s, mid 60s by the time you join us tonight from Mountain News at 11. But storm chances are in the forecast. Will they impact the Black Gold Festival? I'll have that answer coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you. This Friday, a judge will hear the former mayor of London's lawsuit against the city. The hearing will consider Randall Weddle's motion for a temporary injunction. Weddle claims that his impeachment hearing had no legal grounds and that the city council manufactured charges against him. He's trying to get a judge to rule that the city council violated the law by removing him from office. Weddle wants the judge to declare that he is still the mayor of London. Public health is public safety. That was the message from a national campaign that launched its Kentucky tour in Hazard today. WYMT's Caroline Mueller spoke to a couple of the panelists at today's event.
Hazard was the first stop on a statewide tour aimed at shifting how communities respond to addiction and mental health crises. John Bowman with Dream.org says it's about bringing care, not just punishment.
The reason I think it's so important to switch from our punitive measures that we've done for the past 50 plus years to a system of care is, our things we haven't done in the past, they're not working. If we could incarcerate our way out of this issue, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
The event at the Art Station featured a panel discussion on community crisis co-response, a model that brings law enforcement, first responders, and mental health professionals together. Mandy Scheffel with the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky says it's a different way to help people in crisis.
What I hope will happen is that we see that we have not been successful in policing our way out of this problem and will not be successful in the future. And so what does that look like when we respond to people in crisis, when we respond and we don't use law enforcement? And what does that look like, and how do we get them resources immediately instead of using incarceration as a solution?
Scheffel says settlement money from the opioid crisis can be used to build resources like local hubs, drop-in centers where people can find basic needs, recovery support, and treatment referrals.
Well, I would encourage you to find out who's doing the work in your community, get involved in particular with how those abatement funds are being spent.
Bowman says the goal is to change minds and policy throughout Kentucky.
Our ultimate goal is to change policy, to better the lives of folks who are in recovery or people who use drugs, making sure that they are treated as human beings and not second-class citizens.
Organizers say their message is simple. Public health is public safety, and they hope that shift in mindset leads to safer communities. In Hazard, Caroline Mueller, WYMT, Mountain News.
The campaign will continue with events in Maysville, Hopkinsville, and Lexington during the next few months. More details about Dream.org and the work they do can be found on our website, WYMT.com. The Martin County School District has now launched its own police department. The school district hired Chris Kidd as its police chief. We reported on this story back in February when the school had plans to establish a police force. Kidd brings nearly 20 years of law enforcement experience to the table and is a Floyd County native. Kidd started his new role last Thursday.
We're seeing plenty of sunshine out there right now, but how long will this nice weather last? I'll have that answer coming up. Plus, we'll take a look at the tropics as we have a new named storm out in the Atlantic. Details coming up.
And one Eastern Kentucky Sheriff's Department is mourning the loss of one of their own.